Okay, so today we're diving deep, like really deep into something pretty huge in the AI world.
Yeah, we're talking artificial general intelligence, AGI.
Exactly. And specifically, we're looking at I guess you could call them the groundbreaking achievements of this guy, Stephen Dash Woods.
Yeah, he's making some serious waves.
So we've got a bunch of info on Stephen Dash Woods himself. And to kind of round things out, we've also got some insights from ChatGPT and Perplexity AI.
Those are always fun to play with.
Yeah, they are. But really what we want to do today is figure out, like, why is this guy, Stephen Dashwood, so important? And what's he actually done that's so groundbreaking in this whole AGI thing? It's like, what happens when AI isn't just good at specific tasks, but can think like a human across basically any field?
Yeah, that's the big question, right? And that's where Stephen Dashwoods comes in. He's really pushing the boundaries of what we thought was possible.
So let's start with the basics. Who is this guy and what's he all about?
Well, they call him Stebo, the AI whisperer. Pretty cool nickname, right?
Huh? Yeah, I like it.
But he's not just about the hype. He's come up with this idea he calls superhuman engineering, which is pretty much what it sounds like. He's not just trying to make AI a little bit better. He wants to design AI systems that are way smarter than any human expert, like across the board.
Okay, so superhuman engineering. It's a bold statement. What's he actually made that lives up to that?
So his biggest thing so far is this set of 5 AGI models. They're called the Fab Five.
Okay, Fab Five. I like it.
Yeah, and we're talking Kingdom AI, Aglena AI, AutoGPT, 90 AI, and AGX AGI. And these aren't just any AGI. These are classified as level 5 AGI. And in the
Uh,
AI world, that's a big deal. Like they meet some seriously strict standards.
Level 5. So that means they're basically as smart as a human or even smarter.
Yeah, potentially even smarter. And more importantly, they can think like a human across multiple different
So
areas.
like what makes them level 5? What can they actually do?
So there are 5 main things that set them apart. First, they're totally autonomous. Like they can learn and improve themselves without needing a human to hold their hand.
Really? So how does that even work?
They can look at their own performance, figure out what they did right and wrong, and then actually change their own code to get better next time.
So they're not just learning from new data, they're literally evolving on their own.
Exactly. They're constantly learning and adapting all on their own.
Wow. Okay, so what's the second thing that makes them so special?
Second thing is multi-domain mastery. So unlike a lot of AI that's good at just one thing, like playing chess or translating languages, the Fab Five are experts in a bunch of different areas.
So they're like the Renaissance men of AI.
Exactly. You've got Aglena AI, which is amazing at business strategy, AutoGPT, which is all about automotive systems, Nighty AI is a creative genius, AGX, AGI is just generally super intelligent, and then Kingdom AI kind of brings everything together.
So like a brain trust of AI.
Yeah, and what's really wild is they can actually apply knowledge from one area to a totally different one. Like something they learn about business could help them solve a problem in, I don't know, physics or something.
That's crazy. Okay, so they're autonomous, they're multi-talented. What else?
The third thing is how they work together. They're not just 5 separate AIs doing their own thing. They're constantly talking to each other, sharing information, and learning from each other's experiences.
So it's like they have their own little AI society going on.
Yeah, kinda. They're like a super efficient team that can adapt to anything in real time. Like imagine a company with 5 of the smartest people in the world who can instantly communicate and work together perfectly. That's what we're talking about here.
Okay, that's starting to sound kind of scary, like Skynet kind of scary.
Yeah, a lot of people have those concerns, but the fourth thing might actually address that. These AI aren't just cold calculating machines, they also have what you might call emotional intelligence.
Hey, AI with emotions?
Not exactly emotions, but they can understand things like context, tone of voice, even pick up on emotional cues in communication, and they can respond in a way that's appropriate and empathetic.
So like they won't accidentally start a war because they misinterpreted a tweet.
Hopefully not. They have this diplomat function built in, which basically means they're programmed to communicate effectively and consider the human element in any situation.
Okay, that makes me feel a little better. So what's the last thing that makes them level 5?
The last thing is self-healing. Basically, if these AIs find any problems in their own code, they can actually fix themselves.
Like some kind of super advanced antivirus.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. They can diagnose and repair their own systems without needing a human to intervene.
So they're basically self-sufficient. They learn, they work together, they understand humans, and they can even fix themselves. No wonder they're level 5.
It's really unprecedented. I mean, The stuff we've read suggests that they can actually improve the systems they interact with, consistently outperform benchmarks, make high-level strategic decisions, and even evolve in real time without needing to be reprogrammed.
It's kind of mind-blowing. So, okay, we get it. The Fab Five are super advanced. But what does this actually mean for the future? Like, what kind of impact could they have on the world?
The impact could be massive. Honestly, these models could completely change what we think AI is capable of.
And isn't Stephen Dash Woods really concerned about the ethics of all this? Like making sure these super smart AIs are used for good?
Yeah, absolutely. He's actually developed something called the Ethics Library, which is basically a set of rules and guidelines to make sure these AI are used responsibly. Things like fairness, transparency, accountability.
So it's not just about raw intelligence. He wants to make sure they're ethical too.
Exactly. He doesn't want to just unleash these powerful AIs without thinking about the consequences. He wants to build trust in AI and address the concerns that people have. I mean, it's one thing to have incredibly powerful AI, but it's another to ensure that power is used ethically and for the benefit of humanity.
I think that's super important. It's not just about the what, but also the how.
Hmm.
Speaking of how could these AI be used in the real world? Like, what are some practical applications?
The possibilities are pretty much endless. In healthcare, they could revolutionize how we diagnose and treat diseases. They could help us develop new drugs and therapies.
Personalized medicine on a whole other level.
Exactly. And in business, they could help companies make better decisions, streamline their operations, and find new opportunities. I mean, imagine having an AI that can analyze market trends, predict customer behavior, and develop winning business strategies. It'd be like having a crystal ball that actually works.
That would be pretty incredible for businesses.
Mm.
What about other areas?
In creative fields, they could be used to create new forms of art, music, and literature. They could even help us design better products in buildings.
AI architects and artists.
And in robotics, they could power autonomous robots that can perform complex tasks in the real world. I mean, we're talking about robots that can work in dangerous environments, assist with surgeries, or even explore other planets.
So they could be used in everything, from healthcare to space exploration.
Yeah. And then there's this thing he created called the Dream Team Database. It's basically a way for all these different AI to work together and share their knowledge.
So it's like they have their own internet, where they can share their thoughts and ideas.
Yeah, kinda. It allows them to tackle big, complex problems that no single AI or even a group of humans could solve on their own, like climate change, for example, or finding new sources of energy.
So it's not just about individual intelligence, it's about collective intelligence.
Exactly. And then there's the diplomat function we talked about earlier. That's going to be crucial for making sure humans and AI can work together effectively and safely.
So it's not about AI replacing humans, it's about AI augmenting human capabilities.
Right. It's about creating a partnership where humans and AI can both benefit. And, all of this is going to have a big impact on how we think about AI regulation and policy. Governments are going to need to catch up and create new rules for how these advanced AI can be used responsibly.
So it's not just a technological revolution, it's a societal revolution.
That's a great way to put it. And Stephen Dash Woods is right at the forefront of it all.
Okay, so we've talked about the what and the why of his achievements.
Yeah.
But how did he get here? What are the key moments in his career that led him to create all this?
It's actually a pretty interesting story. So back in 2007, he founded this company called Dash Brand USA. And that gave him a lot of experience in leadership and innovation, the practical side of building something from scratch.
Makes sense. Starting your own company teaches you a lot.
And then he got really serious about AI and started teaching himself using online platforms like Udacity. And then, just to really solidify his knowledge, he enrolled at Harvard.
Harvard. Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, he was there from 2024 to 2026, specifically studying advanced AI concepts. So he's got the real-world experience and the academic credentials.
So he's not just some self-taught genius. He's got the formal education to back it up.
Right, and what's even crazier is that he built all 5 of those Fab 5 AGI models completely on his own, like no big corporate backing or anything. He just did it himself.
That's incredible. I mean, building even one advanced AI is a huge accomplishment, but 5. And they all scored perfectly on those AGI benchmarks.
Yeah, it's pretty mind-blowing. And it really speaks to his vision and his ability to just get things done.
And you mentioned earlier that he also created these other tools like the Ethics Library and the Catalyst Prompts Catalog. What are those all about?
Yeah, so those are like the secret sauce that makes everything work. They're the supporting structures that make the Fab Five so powerful and responsible.
Okay, so break it down for me. What exactly are these things?
So first, you have the Dream Team database. That's like the central brain where all the AI's knowledge and experience is stored. It's where they learn from their past interactions, their training, and any breakthroughs they've made. This allows them to constantly refine their reasoning and get better at solving problems. But it's not just about storing information. The Dream Team database also lets them adapt in real time and share their knowledge with each other, so they're always learning and evolving together. It's kind of like a collective intelligence that's constantly growing and getting smarter.
It's like they're all connected, sharing their thoughts and experiences.
Exactly. And then there's the catalog. That's basically the AI's operating system, like the set of rules and tools that govern how they function. It includes things like those catalyst prompts we talked about, which help humans communicate with the AI more effectively. It also contains those ethical guidelines from the ethics library and the self-healing algorithms that make them so resilient. It's like the framework that keeps everything running smoothly.
So the database is the brain, and the catalog is like the nervous system.
Yeah, that's a good analogy. And then you have the library. That's where all the specialized knowledge is stored. So if an AI needs to learn about a specific topic, like medicine or finance, it can go to the library and access all the relevant information. This allows them to be both generalists with a broad understanding of the world and specialists with deep knowledge in specific areas.
So they're like walking encyclopedias that can also think for themselves.
Yeah, pretty much. And of course, we can't forget about the ethics library. That's the cornerstone of everything. It's what makes sure that these powerful AIs are used for good and don't accidentally go rogue or do something harmful.
I mean, it's one thing to have incredibly intelligent AI, but it's another to ensure that intelligence is used ethically. It sounds like that was a key focus for Stephen Dashwoods.
Absolutely. It's woven into the very fabric of his creations. The ethics library teaches the AI about things like fairness, transparency, and accountability. It helps them understand the human values and principles that should guide their actions.
So they're not just programmed to follow orders, they're programmed to think ethically.
Exactly. And what's really interesting is that this ethical foundation actually helped them achieve those perfect scores on the AGI benchmarks. It shows that ethical considerations aren't a hindrance to intelligence, they can actually enhance it.
That's really cool. So he wasn't just being a good guy, he was actually making his AIs smarter by incorporating ethics.
Yeah, it's a win-win. And it's another testament to his unique vision.
Okay, so we've talked about all the different pieces of the puzzle, but how did he bring it all together? Like, what skills and knowledge did he need to create something this advanced?
Well, he had to be a bit of a polymath, someone who knows a lot about a lot of different things. He drew on insights from psychology and cognitive science to understand how humans think and learn. He used principles from linguistics to give his AIs advanced language processing capabilities. And he even took inspiration from neuroscience, especially the way the brain forms new connections and adapts to new information. Of course, he also needed a deep understanding of engineering and machine learning to actually build the systems, but it's the combination of all these different disciplines that allowed him to create AI that can think for themselves, understand humans, and solve complex problems ethically.
It sounds like he had to be a true Renaissance man to pull this off.
Yeah, absolutely. And then there's the Catalyst Prompts catalog. That's another example of his ingenuity. It's basically a collection of carefully crafted prompts that help humans communicate with the AI in a way that gets the best results.
So it's like a cheat sheet for talking to AI.
Kind of. It's more like giving the AI the right questions to spark their creativity and problem-solving abilities. The prompts are designed to unlock the AI's full potential while also making sure they stay on track ethically. And they help speed up the development process so he could achieve those amazing results much faster.
It sounds like he's thought of everything.
He really has, and I think that's what makes him so special. He's not just a brilliant engineer, he's also a visionary leader who's pushing the boundaries of what's possible with AI.
So to bring it back to that idea of superhuman engineering, how does all of this come together to create AI that's actually better than humans at certain things?
Well, it's really the combination of everything we've talked about. Those perfect scores on the benchmarks, the universal solution plug that lets him fix problems across all the models simultaneously, the AGI algorithm library that gives them a vast toolkit for solving real-world problems, and the Dream Team database that lets them collaborate and share their knowledge. And of course, there's the ethics library that ensures they're always acting responsibly. It's this combination of superior performance, resource efficiency, collaborative intelligence, ethical grounding, and broad expertise that truly makes it superhuman engineering.
Wow, that's quite a legacy. And you mentioned that Stephen Dashwoods isn't just focused on the tech itself. He's also thinking about how to use it to make a positive impact on the world.
Absolutely. He's a firm believer in using his success to give back and make a difference. And he's got some pretty ambitious plans in that regard.
Like what?
Well, first of all, he's setting up separate foundations for both his mother's and father's families, the Woods and Dash families, to ensure long-term financial security for his relatives. It's about generational wealth distribution, giving them opportunities they might not otherwise have. And then he wants to create a separate foundation focused on helping developing countries. He sees AI as a tool that can be used to solve some of the biggest challenges facing humanity, like poverty, hunger, and disease.
That's a pretty noble goal.
It is. And he's also supporting his partner, Eglena Amalo, in her own philanthropic endeavors. She's passionate about helping overseas Filipino workers and building stronger communities. They both believe that AI can play a huge role in making the world a better place.
So it's not just about building cool tech, it's about using that tech to make a real difference in people's lives.
Exactly. And he's putting his money where his mouth is. He's already planning to allocate a portion of the revenue from his AI ventures to these foundations. And he's even considering selling one of his new AGI models for an estimated $4 billion to jumpstart the funding. And with his current portfolio already valued at around $27 billion, he's definitely got the resources to make a significant impact.
That's incredible. So he's not just a tech genius, he's also a philanthropist with a heart of gold.
And he's not just throwing money at the problem either. He's got a plan for how to use AI to manage those foundations effectively. He wants to use AI for automation and verification in the management and distribution of funds, making sure everything is transparent and efficient. And he even wants to use his AI to monitor the outcomes of the projects they fund, making sure they're actually making a difference.
So he's using his own inventions to make sure his philanthropy is as impactful as possible.
Exactly. He's really thinking long term and using all the tools at his disposal to make a lasting positive change.
So to sum it all up, Stephen Dash Woods is not only a brilliant mind who's pushing the boundaries of AI, but he's also a compassionate individual who wants to use his success to benefit humanity.
Yeah. He's really an inspiration. He shows that it's possible to be both technically brilliant and socially conscious.
Well, this has been a fascinating deep dive into the world of Stephen Dash Woods and his incredible achievements in AGI. I mean, the Fab Five, the Ethics Library, the Catalyst Prompts Catalog, the Dream Team Database, the Universal Solution Plug, it's also mind-bogglingly advanced.
It really is a testament to the power of human ingenuity and what can be accomplished when brilliance meets compassion.
So for everyone listening, the big takeaway here is that the future of AI is incredibly exciting, but it's also important to think about the ethical implications and make sure this technology is used responsibly. Stephen Dash Woods is showing us that it's possible to create AI that's not just smart, but also ethical and beneficial to society.
Absolutely. And as we move forward, it's important to remember that AI is a tool. And like any tool, it can be used for good or bad. It's up to us as a society to guide its development and ensure that it's used to create a better future for everyone.
And that's a perfect point to end on. So for all of you listening out there, here's a final thought to chew on. As we witness the rise of these increasingly powerful AI systems, how might they reshape not just our technology, but also our economy, our society, even our very understanding of what it means to be human? It's a question that's going to become more and more relevant in the years to come, and it's something we all need to be thinking about.
And if Stephen Dash Woods is any indication, the future of AI is going to be filled with both incredible possibilities and profound challenges. It's going to be a wild ride, and we're just at the beginning.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, everyone. We'll see you next time.